All right, so today we're going to move into volume of pyramids and cones. So why do we group pyramids and cones together? The reason we group pyramids and cones together is because they each have one base, and they're actually going to use the same volume formula. So yesterday we talked about prisms and cylinders, and prisms and cylinders had two bases, so they both use the volume equals area of the base times the height. Right? This was if your shape had two bases. If your shape has one base, which is what we're working in today, your formula is volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. Again, this is if your shape has one base. So if your shape is a pyramid or a cone. So over here you can see we have a pyramid. Notice it has one shape, and then everything goes up to a single vertex. So this is called your vertex here. So we have a base, and then we have that vertex. Okay? So let's use our formula, right? We have 1/3. Remember, big B stands for area of the base. Area of the base. So this is area of the base, which the base is a triangle. I guess we should have started by naming this figure. My base is a triangle. You would call this a triangular pyramid. Triangular pyramid because my base is a triangle. So we want to find the area of the base. We want to find the area of that triangle. So the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. That's that triangle. All right, so we've got 1/3 area of the base, area of a triangle, 1/2 base and height are both touching that right angle. So 71 and 84. 71 and 84. Now height is the height of your pyramid. So it should come through the vertex and it should drop straight down. See, notice that perpendicular? Height should drop straight down. So this would be 64. And then we do some multiplying. So I'm going to work from the inside first. So I've got 71 times 84 and half of that. So we've got 1/3, 2,982 times 64. Oops, that's a 3. I'm going to erase that. Sorry about that. 1/3. So now we have 1/3 big B times H. You can multiply and divide in any order you want. So I'm going to do 2,982 times 64. And then I'm going to divide by 3, which would be taking 1/3. So 1/3 is the same, multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. So I did 2,982 times 64, and I divided by 3. And I got 63,616, which was a very nice answer. I know it's big, but it's a nice answer. And volume, we're talking in terms of feet cubed. So that would be the volume. Moving on. So notice this one gave us a lot more information. Let's start by naming it. So notice my base is 20 by 20. 20 by 20. We call this a square pyramid because the base is a square. All right, we still have the same formula. Volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. So 1/3 area of the base. So area of the base, my base is a square. To find the area of that square, we do length times width or base times height, whatever you want to call it, 20 times 20. We'll find the area of that base, the area of that square. Height is the height of my pyramid. Again, should start at the vertex and drop straight down. Again, notice that perpendicular, that right angle. So my height is 13. You might say, but Miss Blake, what is that 16.4? Well, it's a nice way for them to confuse you. Okay, sometimes they overmark pictures. But this actually does have a name. It's called a slant height. Oops. It's called a slant height. So notice it slants down the outside. That is called a slant height. We are going to use that in the future, but you don't use it for volume. So there's a reason they gave it to us, but we're just not going to use it today. But I do want you to be able to differentiate, you know, what information do I need from this picture and what do I not need. All right, so let's do this one. We've got 20 times 20 is 400. And I'm just breaking this down so that way, you know, you see every step. So when I do my calculator 400 times 13 and I divide by 3, I get a really ugly number. 1,733.333333333. Right? It keeps going. This one does say round to the nearest 10. So we are going to round it. 1,733.3 meters cubed. I hope I wrote cubed on the last one. I did. Okay. And we're done. Sorry, in my calculator I typed in 400 times 13 and then I divided by 3. Again, multiplying by a third is the same as dividing by 3. So the next two, these are cones. So notice a cone, the only difference between a cone and a pyramid is a pyramid has some type of polygon base. So a square, a rhombus, a trapezoid, a polygon. Okay? A cone has a circle base, but it still has one base. So we're still using the same formula, 1/3 area of the base times the height. Except area of the base, my base is a circle. To find area of a circle, you use pi r squared. So this is actually the formula you're using, but again, it is from this formula. And this right here is the formula that's going to be on your reference sheet for EOC. So you have to know how to use this formula to get here. All right, you have to know area of the base. My base is a circle, pi r squared. But once you get there, plug and chug. So we've got pi, my radius is 8 squared, times my height, which is, again, vertex straight down. See that right angle? It's got to be perpendicular, 18. Now this does say exact, which means we're going to forget about pi for a minute. So we've got here 8 squared is 64. I'm going to leave that pi in there. And I'm going to do everything but pi. So I'm going to do 64 times 18 and then divide by 3. And I get 384 pi centimeters cubed. So again, this is exact or leave in terms of pi. Same directions over here. So it still has one base. It's still a cone. And you're still going to say area of the base. My base is a circle. Area of a circle is pi r squared. So we've got 1/3 pi r. Now be careful here. If they draw the line all the way across, they're telling you that the diameter is 8 feet. So if your diameter is 8 feet, your radius is just half. Your radius is 4. So my radius is 4 squared. Height, vertex, drop it down. Again, see how it's perpendicular to the base? So my height is 9. And same concept. We're going to leave it exact, so 4 squared is 16 pi. and we're going to multiply everything except for pi. So we've got 16 times 9, and then we're going to divide by 3, and we get 48 pi feet cubed. If they asked you to round, then you would just type it in your calculator, 48 times 3.14. Last but not least, another exact, so volume equals, I'm going to just skip to the, I'm not going to skip. There we go. 1/3 big V times H. So we have 1/3, my base is a circle, pi r squared, times my height. And let's plug. 1/3 pi, my radius is 2 squared. My height, vertex straight down, again, perpendicular to the base, is 8. So again, we're going to do everything but pi. So here 2 squared is 4 pi. Well, I guess I just added a parenthesis, it doesn't matter. So let's do everything but pi. So we're going to do 4 times 8, and then divide by 3, and uh-oh, we get a decimal. So when they say exact, you cannot have any decimals. And I got 10.666666667, right? So do not round that. Do not round that. We're going to backtrack. We did 8 times 4, right? So 8 times 4 gets me 32. And then we divided by 3, and that's when it got ugly. So we're just going to rewind. We're going to write 8 times 4 was 32, and we need to divide by 3. Again, that's what we typed in our calculator, but it was ugly, so just leave it as a fraction. Put the pi on the end, and you're done. Now do make sure these are simplified. So 32 over 3 is simplified, but if you wound up with something like, 4 over 8, make it 1/2. Okay, so make sure you simplify it, but other than that, like I said, if it doesn't work out nice, we did 8 times 4 and we divided by 3 and it was ugly. So just go back to the step before you divided. 8 times 4 was 32 over 3. 32 divided by 3 was what we put in our calculator. Like I said, it was ugly, so we just leave it as a fraction. This is exact. Inches cubed. As ugly as that looks, now they might put the pi up top. So they could either put it off to the side or they could put 32 pi over 3. It's the same answer. Okay. It is not the same in the denominator. So either next to it or up top. All right, that's it for today. Get the worksheet done. Have a good weekend.